Good morning. Today we will continue with the chapter A Truly Beautiful Mind. So, till now we have read that the Germans discovered the process of nuclear fission, and this is a process that is used to make the atomic bombs or the nuclear bombs. So, this process of nuclear fission was prepared in Berlin, and due to this, all the physicists in America, they were quite upset that the Nazis might not misuse the atomic bomb. So today we will continue with the chapter. We'll start from page number 50. At the urging of a colleague, Einstein wrote a letter to American President Franklin D. Roosevelt on 2nd August 1939, in which he warned a single bomb of this type exploded in a port might very well destroy the whole port together with some of the surrounding territory. So in this, what is given here is that Einstein, he was urged by a colleague, he was requested by a colleague, and what he did was, he did write a letter to the President of America, that is Franklin D. Roosevelt, and that was on the 2nd August 1939. So he told him about the atomic bomb that was developed in Germany, and he said that it was a very powerful bomb, and he says that if this bomb explodes on a port, it will destroy everything. It will destroy whatever is all the surrounding things. So he was quite concerned about people also. This shows Einstein humanitarian quality. So he was a good human being, and he wanted good for the people. He wanted peace everywhere in the world. So that is why he wrote his concern to the President of America and warned him. His words did not fail to have an effect. The Americans developed the atomic bomb in a secret project of their own and dropped it on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. It is given that Albert Einstein, the letter that he wrote to the president, American president, it had an impact on him. So it did not fail to have an effect, but it did have an impact on Franklin D. Roosevelt. So Americans, what they did was, they had developed the atomic bomb secretly, and they dropped it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So Germans, they had just developed the atomic bomb. They did not use it on any country, but America did. Einstein was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction. This time he wrote a public missive. Missive is a letter that is a long and an official one to the United Nations. In it, he proposed the formation of the world government. Unlike the letter to Roosevelt, this one made no impact. But over the next decade, Einstein got even more involved in politics, agitating for an end to the arms build-up, and used his popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. So in this, it is given that Einstein, he was quite moved, he was quite shaken by the destruction that had taken place. So there was a lot of destruction that had taken place, and he was quite moved by that. So what he did was that this time he wrote a letter to the United Nations, and in it he wrote about, he proposed to form a world government, but this letter did not have any impact. So for another decade is 10 years. So for another 10 years, Albert Einstein, he was involved in world peace. He was involved in politics, and the main purpose of his was to stop people from collecting arms, to stop each other from agitating. And what he did was he campaigned for the world peace and democracy. And this was his main agenda. And his main agenda was the world peace, and he wanted peace everywhere. He wanted the people to be free. So the main agenda of his was of Albert Einstein was world peace and freedom of people. When Einstein died in 1955 at the age of 76, he was celebrated a visionary and a world citizen as much as a scientific genius. Visionary is a person who can think about the future in an original and an intelligent way. So Einstein, he could foresee the future. He could, like when he died, so that was the time he was 76 years old, and the world celebrated him as a visionary. So they just considered him as a person who can think about the future in an original and an intelligent way. So he was a world citizen, and moreover, due to his contribution in physics, he was referred to as a scientific genius. So when he died at the age of 76, so that was the time the world celebrated him as a visionary and also a scientific genius.